Did y'all get into these BET awards or not? Virtually. Amanda Seales. No audience. I thought it was going to be a little sketchy, but I think I liked it a lot. Want to talk about it? Here it goes. Watching the BET Hip Hop Awards for 2020, and I must say I am thoroughly impressed, and more so I am pleased. Now y'all know it has been a very long time since I covered an award show. Typically I don't, but I was contracted by Carol's daughter to live tweet from their Twitter account for the BET Awards, and it made me have to sit down and watch it. And we're actually going to talk about me live tweeting for Carol's daughter as it relates to black-owned business at the end of this video. But let's just break this thing down, right? Ain't nobody told me nothing. I didn't even know Amanda Seales was going to be hosting, but I thought about it after her departure from The Real. I was like, you know what? There would be nobody else better to do this than Miss Amanda. Now let's break down the budget, honey. Let me tell you something. Is it me, or was this one of the tightest BET awards that had ever been produced? I don't know. The performances and the packages, they were all super duper tight, and I speculate because they didn't have to rent out the Kodak Theater, they didn't have to fly this person in, put this bitch in a hotel, get a car service for this whole, pay hair, makeup, costume, green room, catering, and every other fee for all these people. They was able to give people a little bit of budget money for some videos and stuff. Megan Thee Stallion had a whole damn video. She paid homage to Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, California Love. And for those of you real girl, old school girls, that was Tina Turner and what's that white man that played Jesus? Mel Gibson, Mad Max. That's the real old school girls. I forgot what the song was that went along with that, but that Megan Thee Stallion performance was everything, especially considering the fact that she had also won the Best Female in Rap award. Everything about these BET awards I like. Historically, I don't watch the award shows because I find them to be boring. There's only but so much. I want to thank my mama. I want to thank Jesus, and without the fans. That shit, just my ADHD act up, and I can't sit there long enough for all that hand clapping and that tacky dress. This was tight, it was concise, it was on target, and I loved it all. And let me tell you something. Let me find out Amanda Seales was wearing some of that stolen Gucci out of Atlanta, because she had a new outfit on every time they went to commercial break and came back. Mama had a new outfit. Now, I'm going to tell you something. We got to talk about some of the negatives, right? We're going to talk about the positives. And my mama always told me, never tear nobody down without extending a hand to lift them up. That sound on Amanda Seales was horrible. And I was like, she must be doing this from home and not in studio. And lo and behold, she was. But we're going to let it ride. Let it ride. Because, you know, we're dealing with unfortunate circumstances and situations with this COVID, and it just is what it is. But beyond the sound issue with Amanda Seales, and it sounding a little distant, everything else was A1. I hate to keep going back to Megan Thee Stallion, but a friend and I were watching this show as it was airing, and I will say this. When they showed that best category for female rapper, or whatever it was, don't quote me on it, I was very proud because I saw a gamut of female artists, right? It was Megan, Nicki, Cardi, Saweetie, and somebody else, right? And I was like, oh God, who finna win this? Like, I honestly thought Cardi might have got it, but I'm actually happy Megan got it. And the reason why I am happy, y'all, is because finally we've got some healthy female competition when it comes to the rap industry. And this isn't about who's the best, who's the queen, who is this. It's just the fact that, bitch, we got enough options. I can choose whoever the fuck I want my queen to be. Matter of fact, this week I'm choosing Sweetie, and I don't even know what the fuck that girl's saying, or if I'm saying her name properly, Sweetie. Somebody drop that in the comments and let me know what this bitch saying. The fact that her name was in the category is interest enough for me, and that takes me back to the 90s when we had Latifah and Light was eating each other coochie and having threesomes with Yo-Yo and Money Love and everybody else out there, and I'm going to hell for that, but that's alright. Moving right along. This BET Awards, and I don't know if because they were doing it virtually or not, but it was unapologetically black. Which is going to bring me to my next point. It was so black, it was blank, okay? B-L-Y-K-E. It was so blank that it began to make me uncomfortable slightly, right? And then I had to digress and go back to this new state of being that I've stumbled upon in the last couple of months or so. I have come to the realization that me expressing my blackness, my opinions of racial matters in this country, what it means to be black, should not be oppressed and suppressed for the comfort of white people, right? The only reason why I was saying it was blacky, black, because in the back of my mind, as many of us have been conditioned to think about, I'm like, shit, I'm wondering what my white friends are thinking about them just being so unapologetically black. Then I was like, you know what? Fuck that shit. Because they not sitting at home somewhere worried about my comfort and them not expressing any disdain for the systematic racism and oppression or George Floyd's death or anything of that matter. So it has made me realize it is time that we stop giving two shits about something being too black for white people's comfort and worrying about our own. That's number one. It brings me to my next point. BET in its relation to Viacom, and which is actually going to be a perfect segue into my Carol's daughter story. BET in their relation to Viacom. Viacom. Now, Bob Johnson grew BET and he did what you're supposed to do in business. Grow your business. Big conglomerate comes around, gives you a shitload of money, you sell the company. I mean, take color out of the equation. That is the way business and capitalism is designed and is supposed to work. Bob did the right thing. Grew the company, somebody came along, bought it. Viacom, since you guys have had custody of BET, y'all have not, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong because I may not understand the financial structure of all things, y'all have not given, in my opinion, BET the budget and or support and resources that they need to create the type of programming that we as black people deserve. It is disheartening to me that BET was more black and more of value and fulfilling a need in the community in the 90s than it is in 2020. I look at all this great content, right? The Shy, How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal, Treme, all these shows, Black Wall Street, just all these different shows that get greenlit on these other networks, when in all actuality, a place like BET should be the home for these big budget shows. And again, I don't understand everything, but I would like for somebody to explain to me why. You gave us Being Mary Jane, and we had that for a couple of seasons, and then you gave us, in my opinion, what were a couple of other lower budget, lackluster shows like The Quad and that superhero situation or whatever the case may be. Why is it that when we got Being Mary Jane for those couple of years that we couldn't have got 2 or 3 more Being Mary Janes? I love Tyler Perry, we love Tyler Perry, we love his contribution to the system. But we all know to a certain degree when it comes to quality that those shows are not necessarily the best. Why is it that we get these leftover and reruns of The Parker and reruns of Moesha, but we can't get no Scandals, Being Mary Jane, so on and so forth on BET? Being Mary Jane has shown that it can work over there. Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder has shown there is a market for it. Viacom people, and I'm not even mad with my own black people because I understand that they're taking direction from the people at top. Viacom people, we don't need y'all ass to come the fuck up off the budget money, okay? Y'all take y'all ass over to MTV, y'all catch 30 little white kids over to Brazil for them to do a dating show and fuck each other for 13 weeks and give each other mono, AIDS, and every damn thing else in between, but you won't give us a fraction of that budget to create some good shows. Bitch, we want some more 227, we want some more A-Man, we want on another scandal. Y'all seen Olivia Pope don't sail off in the sunset with that white man, and Viola Davis don't died down to How to Get Away with Murder. We want to know what the fuck going on with Michaela and the rest of the cast. Give us free. Matter of fact, give us our things. For we come burn that shit down, okay? Because that ain't even black shit, quiet as it's kept. That's Viacom people shit. Don't make me call them Black Lives Matter people and tell them what the fuck going on right now. And y'all find y'all ass on the Channel 7 News with your windows and shit boarded out, state out, and all the rest of that. Which brings me to my final point that I want to bring. Black people, we have got to figure out with laser focus and precision and absolute strategy what it is we want, right? Because I know a lot of us right now are moving from a place of emotion. Give us free and give us that. And then when the people give it to us or start to give us progress, the illusion of progress, some sort of progress, then we get all wishy-washy and start fucking up the thing. And what do I mean about that? In recent weeks, I've seen a lot of emails, tweets, reposts of things going on with brands that cater to black people that don't happen to be owned by black people anymore. Carol's Daughter being one of them, right? And even in me live tweeting on behalf of Carol's Daughter through that partnership, shouts out to Carol's Daughter, there were some trolls in there like, why you even commenting on the BET Awards? The company ain't even black owned. But quiet as it's kept, bitch, why is you even watching the damn BET Awards? Because that company ain't black owned. Matter of fact, the raggedy ass car you drive, your car manufacturer ain't black owned. The house that you live in, bitch, the builder of that was not black owned. And the grocery store you shop at, and the people produce your food, probably ain't black owned. So what is your point? Going back to my earlier Bob Johnson analogy, Carol and her damn nappy head daughter was in the kitchen making products, selling these companies, selling this shit out the trunk, and okay? Black women was loving it, shit was going great, and Carol sold her company to L'Oreal. Now pause. On Monday, the products were great. They were serving black women and everybody loved what was going on. On Wednesday, she sells the company to L'Oreal and now all of a sudden the products are obsolete. I don't understand that logic. And you've got to be careful carving out that niche and sliding down that slippery slope, because are we saying that we can no longer support bigger companies that have black divisions? And if so, you about to fuck up your whole life, because 90% of the shit that black people consume are not made or come from black people. Secondly, for those of you guys who selling soap at your kitchen, making perm like Madam C.J. Walker, this, that, and the third, it is the hope and the dream of the slave that your ass builds your company large enough to the point where one of these conglomerates comes along and buys you along. Now let's talk about this. With this L'Oreal deal, Carol's Daughter and products like her are no longer are not obsolete just because a larger company has come along and purchased them. For one, just because they purchased Carol's Daughter don't mean that Carol and her daughter lost the know-how, the wherewithal to create other businesses with the resources that they have now garnered with that Carol's Daughter money. Number one. Number two, L'Oreal buying Carol's Daughter has made Carol's Daughter now more accessible to people who Carol and her daughter could not get to. Number two. Number three, Carol and her daughter is still very actively involved in what the fuck going on with them damn products over there to the L'Oreal. So black people, I say that to say this. What exactly is it that you want? And you've got to be laser focused and absolute on it. This whole argument about we can't fuck with the product because it's no longer black owned. No. That is wrong. We can support black-owned business. We can encourage black entrepreneurship and still operate within the capitalistic system that says we can grow our products and our companies and sell them. Ultimately, what y'all were asking Carol and her daughter to do is keep her company and her brand at this particular level. Let's face it, black people in this country do not have the resources and or the infrastructure to do what it is a L'Oreal Paris can do. Thirdly, fourthly, or whatever point I'm on, y'all always want to fuss about inclusion, and they don't include us in the company, and we ain't got no corporate representation. Then you fucking get some, and now you cutting off your nose to spite your face because it's not black owned. Which one is it that you want? At least now the black people that work at L'Oreal got a division of the company that they can work for that represents them, and they're not over there selling 5-minute hair dye for white women. I mean, come on, guys. We've got to get focused on what it is we want and what it is we are saying. You can't be so blackity-black minded that you completely outcast yourself from the larger global economy. That is not smart either. We don't know what Carol and her daughter, as a result of selling that company, have been able to do with their money. For all we know, she done went and built a whole other division, and she done started Carol's stepdaughter. For all we damn know. For all we know, she done took the money and opened up a school and is now teaching a new generation of entrepreneurs how to start their own company and ultimately sell it to a larger company so they can change the trajectory of their families, neighborhoods, and leave a lasting legacy. Yes, it is important that things are black owned, but there are other things that are also important that we learn to do with our black owned businesses, and growing them to the point of attractiveness to where these big companies come in and give us millions and millions of dollars. That is also important as well. At any rate, BET, I'm going to tell you something. I don't give a damn what they say about y'all. Y'all all right with me. The performances was great. Alicia Keys bored me with that lesbian music. John Legend almost sent me to Willie Watkins with that slow shit. Chloe and Haley, I loved everything about them. Black record labels as a whole, we need to get back to artist development. While we've been knowing Chloe and Haley's name shit for damn near a decade at this point, we are just beginning to see them. And here is why they will supersede all those other girls out there, because Beyonce kept their ass on the shelf, kept them in classes, in training, in vocal, in styling, in dancing. She baked them girls slowly like a cake until they were ready. You know, they was a little yang, 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 a little Star Spangled Banner over here, the All-Star Game, a little PTA meeting routine over here, a little piece of Girl Scout over there, until they were ready. She developed those girls to the point in which now I look at them, those girls are polished superstars, baby. They just waiting for Madison Square Garden to open up and y'all to get rid of this COVID so they can come collect all the coins. Because Janet Jackson getting ready to go sit down. Sierra don't have 11 kids and she in love. Kelly Rowland don't even know what the fuck going on. Okay? And Beyonce knees getting bad. So somebody got to come along, and that's what they've been in development and in training doing. I'm trying to think what else was good. You could have called these BET Awards an episode of Insecure, baby, because they was giving me all the good neo soul, all the good neo soul, all the good everything. Everything was just good. And I hated that I am more excited about a virtual show than I am a real one, because what does that say about our shows moving forward? Honestly and truthfully, I'm thinking that the shit about need to be pre-recorded and done like this forever and ever. Now, the only thing the shit was missing was Mary J. Blige. Okay, but we got a little taste of her with the Aretha Franklin snippet that we saw. Baby, y'all didn't want no parts of Jennifer Hudson in that choker, baby. She had on that emerald green like she was going to see the Wicked Witch of the East or slay the Wicked Witch of the West. But she had that nasty choker on, baby. Yes, God. And that girl is going to win her another Oscar for this role as Aretha. Because it ain't no way that anybody else could have did it like Jennifer Hudson. I almost called that girl Aretha Franklin. That's just how much of her spirit she invoked in my soul. I can sit here and ramble and rave all night long about all this blackness, because this shit got me feeling good in between my legs and in my butt, honey. Who needs a man when you got the BET 2020 Awards, baby? I'm feeling good, feeling great, and as a result of this, I'm feeling so good, I'm finna go back to selling tea, bitch. Drop down in the comments and y'all get some of this tea. Y'all still mad with Stormy? Okay, don't shut down my black-owned business because y'all mad with her. Drop down in the comments and say, get some of this tea, bitch. This tea selling, bitch. I need my $2,000 a week that I was making selling this tea. Don't penalize my black-owned business because that bitch had done said something stupid. Okay, I got to eat. Okay, bitch, I want a choker like Aretha Franklin and some fancy shit too. Nessa girl, I'm finna get off the line and go down to the bar and meet Miss Kenny and roll my kiki real quick before they shut Miami back down. And I'll call you tomorrow, girl. Bad. Ain't no way.